bar or not for TED Talks. I'm just gonna start a random one.
I was about to say don't do it with gum in your mouth.
A few ways to fix an ailing government.
Well, wait, I don't know if I have to figure out how to pause it first.
Okay, well, I'm just reading the title.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
Steve was really funny tonight.
Okay, wait.
Yes, you were, Steve. I know you watched these.
Okay, here we go. Now, time it for a whole minute. Hold on, time it for a whole minute.
Time what for a whole minute?
You need to time, do a minute and then pause it. Like we're gonna wait here for a minute once it starts.
What?
So, bring up your timer.
Okay.
Not timer, but stopwatch.
Okay.
Okay, so
At a minute.
press play at the same time as you press start, and a minute later, press pause on both for a minute. And
Is
wait.
this pause?
Yes.
Okay.
And then after that, we're gonna sign for, what do you say, 30 seconds? How long should we sign?
30 seconds is fine.
Yeah, so then pause for 30 seconds, and back on for a minute. Okay?
Did you catch that?
I always watch.
Basically, just pause it at random times. Give us a couple seconds, like around 30 seconds.
So like after you stop signing, just pause it, basically.
No. Okay, so literally, I'm going to be talking. So I'm talking, Paige is interpreting, I'm talking, you're press pause, I stop. She continues to she continues to interpret,
Yeah.
and then you press the on button again.
So like give her time to catch up.
So, but it's basically, we don't start with...
I need to make a new video because this is us just talking.
I don't care. It's minutes, Steve.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you're going to press start.
Okay, so
The video's going to start.
Yes.
You're going to press
I'm gonna
pause.
give her an example. So you're gonna press start. Or
I'll
whatever.
do it, and you can show her.
So I'm just gonna wait.
I'm being the pauser, Steve. Okay?
Growing up in Kenya, I knew I always wanted to study biochemistry. See, I'd seen the impact of the high prevalence of diseases like malaria and to make medicines that would cure the sick. So I worked really hard, got a scholarship to the United States where I became a cancer researcher, and I loved it. For someone who wants to cure diseases,
What did you say?
there's no higher calling. 10 years later, I returned to Kenya to do just that. A freshly minted PhD, ready to take on this horrific illness, which in Kenya was almost certainly a death sentence.
I literally can't even understand her. But you get the gist.
Okay.
So
So a minute and then 30 seconds and then a
I
minute.
mean, maybe a minute's too long. Just pause it whenever you feel like it, or whatever. Like if it seems like it's been a long time.
Okay.
Okay. But we're not doing this because I can't understand a word she's saying.
How about say she's kind of hard to understand.
I don't
Is that
care.
okay?
I'll try my best.
I wonder what Swahili sign language looks like.
We talked about Taiwan Sign Language for brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. There we go.
How to practice safe sexting. Woo! Good topics.
Okay, Courtney. Whenever you... Wait, my video's not started.
People have been using media to talk about sex for a long time. Love letters, phone sex, racy Polaroids. There's even a story of a girl who eloped with a man that she met over the telegraph in 1886. Today, we have sexting, and I am a sexting expert. Not an expert sexter, though I do know what this means. I think you do too. attention to it began in 2008. I wrote a book on the moral panic about sexting, and here's what I found. Most people are worrying about the wrong thing. They're trying to just prevent sexting from happening entirely. But let me ask you this. As long as it's completely consensual, what's the problem with sexting? People are into all sorts of things that you may not be into, like blue cheese or cilantro. Sexting is certainly risky, like anything that's fun. As long as you are not sending an image to someone who doesn't want to receive it, there's no harm. What I do think is a serious problem is when people share private images of others without their permission. And instead of worrying about sexting, what I think we need to do is think a lot more about digital privacy. The key is consent. Right now, most people are thinking about sexting without really thinking about consent at all. Did you know that we currently criminalize teen sexting? It can be a crime because it counts as child pornography if there's an image of someone under 18, and it doesn't even matter if they took that image of themselves and shared it willingly. So we end up with this bizarre legal situation where two 17-year-olds can legally have sex in most US states, but they can't photograph it. Some states have also tried passing sexting misdemeanor laws, but these laws repeat the same problem because they still make consensual sexting illegal. It doesn't make sense to try to ban all sexting to try to address privacy violations. This is kind of like saying, let's solve the problem of date rape by just making dating completely illegal. Most teens don't get arrested for sexting. But can you guess who does? It's often teens who are disliked by their partner's parents. And this can be because of class bias, racism, or homophobia. Most prosecutors are, of course, smart enough not to use child pornography charges against teenagers, but some do. According to researchers at the University of New Hampshire, 7% of all child pornography possession arrests are teens, sexting consensually with other teens. Child pornography is a serious crime, but it's just not the same thing as teen sexting. educators are also responding to sexting without really thinking too much about consent. Their message to teens is often, just don't do it. And I totally get it. There are serious legal risks and, of course, that potential for privacy violations. And when you were a teen, I'm sure you did exactly as you were told, right? You're probably thinking, my kid would never sext. And that true, your little angel may not be sexting because only 33% of 16 and 17-year-olds are sexting. But sorry, by the time they're older, odds are they will be sexting. Every study I've seen puts the rate above 50% for 18 to 24-year-olds. And most of the time, nothing goes wrong. People ask me all the time, things like, isn't sexting just so dangerous though? It's like you wouldn't leave your wallet on a park bench and you expect it's gonna get stolen if you do that, right? Here's how I think about it. Sexting is like leaving your wallet at your boyfriend's house. If you come back the next day and all the money is just gone, you really need to dump that guy. So instead of criminalizing sexting to try to prevent these privacy violations, instead, we need to make consent central to how we think about that circulation of our private information. Every new media technology raises privacy concerns. In fact, in the US, the very first major debates about privacy were in response to technologies that were relatively new at the time. In the late 1800s, people were worried about cameras, which were just suddenly more portable than ever before, and newspaper gossip columns. They were worried that the camera would capture information about them, take it out of context, and widely disseminate it. Sound familiar? It's exactly what we're worried about now with social media and drone cameras and, of course, sexting. And these fears about technology, they make sense because technologies can amplify and bring out our worst qualities and behaviors. But there are solutions. And we've been here before with a dangerous new technology. In 1908, Ford introduced the Model T car. Traffic fatality rates were rising. It's a serious problem. It looks so safe, right? Our first response was to try to change drivers' behavior. So we developed speed limits and enforced them through fines. But over the following decades, we started to realize the technology of the car itself is not just neutral. We could design the car to make it safer. So in the 1920s, we got shadow-resistant windshields. In the 1950s, seat belts. And in the 1990s, airbags. All three of these areas laws, individuals, and industry came together over time to help solve the problems that a new technology causes. And we can do the same thing with digital privacy. Of course, it comes back to consent. Here's the idea. Before anyone can distribute your private information, they should have to get your permission. This idea of affirmative consent comes from anti-rape activists who tell us that we need consent for every sexual act. And we have really high standards for consent in a lot of other areas. Think about having surgery. Your doctor has to make sure that you are meaningfully and knowingly consenting to that medical procedure. This is not the type of consent with like an iTunes terms of service where you just scroll to the bottom and you're like, agree, whatever. If we think more about consent, we can have better privacy laws. Right now, we just don't have that many protections. If your ex-husband or your ex-wife is a terrible person, they can take your nude photos and upload them to a porn site. It can be really hard to get those images taken down. And in a lot of states, you're actually better off if you took the images of yourself, because then you can file a copyright claim. Right now, if someone violates your privacy, whether that's an individual or a company or the NSA, you can try filing a lawsuit, but you may not be successful because many courts assume that digital privacy is just impossible. So not willing to punish anyone for violating it. I still hear people asking me all the time, isn't a digital image somehow blurring the line between public and private because it's digital, right? No. Everything digital is not just automatically public. That doesn't make any sense. As NYU legal scholar Helen Wiesenbaum tells us, we have laws and policies and norms that protect all kinds of information that's private, and it doesn't make a difference if it's digital or not. All of your health records are digitized, but your doctor can't just share them with anyone. All of your financial information is held in digital databases, but your credit card company can't just post your purchase history online. Better laws could help address privacy violations after they happen. But one of the easiest things we can all do is make personal changes to help protect each other's privacy. We're always told that privacy is our own sole individual responsibility. We're told constantly monitor and update your privacy settings. We're told never share anything you wouldn't want the entire world to see. This doesn't make sense. Digital media are social environments, and we share things with people we trust all day, every day.
I'm done with this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. It's been 16 minutes.
I'm trying to
End of the video.
You're doing this, and she's just like looking at you, and I'm like,
It's hot.
I hope I did okay. I didn't like.
Oh, you're fine.